Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another recording session of Hearthstone. Let's see, looks like we got some good quests here. Let's see. Click here. Can't trade anything, I've already done my trading. Destroy 40 minions, deal 100 damage to an enemy hero, win 7 games in any mode. And the Tavern Brawl won't be back for another 17 hours. Okay, so no Tavern Brawls today. I guess we should just play the priest and see if we can, I wish there was a random button here. At this point, it would be kind of nice if I could just say, pick any of my random custom decks. But, since my strategy is to get everybody up to level 60, and I'm working on the priest right now, I guess that's as best as we can. So, what have I been doing? Well, didn't get into Dishonored. I started recording Rogue Legacy, which won't get aired for a lot later than when Dishonored gets. So I'm just recording something out of order. The reason I'm doing this is because one, I just didn't think it through enough. But two, it's become apparent to me that I need to, probably in November and December of every year, just record non-stop, try to get a real big push of recordings out then, and not bother to really schedule any of that stuff. Because the game of the year for Giant Bomb and other thing year wrap-ups, if there are any other year wrap-ups I'm really interested in looking at, which right now it's mostly I'm just listening to Game of the Year Giant Bomb. That's probably going to be like 10 hours of audio to listen to. And that and other podcasts only adds more time to my schedule where I cannot be playing and recording at the same time. Now, I am doing something strange with Rogue Legacy where I'm playing it off screen. I played to probably level 50 or 60. Which, ironically, you can, the world speedrun for beating the game is in like level 16 in 4 generations. Rogue Legacy, I guess I need to explain, works on a weird system where after you die, your children take over. So, you can do a few things to improve your children's health and their mana, and you can get equipment and that passes on to the next character, but it's a generational thing. And so I watched a speed run of somebody playing it and they did it in 4 generations, whereas I am probably somewhere around 50 or 60 generations and I'm still not really confident I'm going to be able to win. So I'm playing off screen after a while. I said, you know what, I've run out of things to say about this series. I've shown you almost everything in the game. There's a few things that I either misexplained or don't completely understand myself. But in general, after about 10 episodes, I'd shown them everything. So I said, you know what, I'll just play in between and throw gold into upgrades. Getting the health up, getting the attack up, doing all that. And I'm starting to get to that level. I'm almost up to, I think, level 100 right now. And I'm really starting to feel it and think to myself about how this...
Are you afraid of the dark?
This...
Fine, I'll watch.
And end the turn. There we go. I'm not gonna win this game. So I'm up to like level 100. The enemies are starting to scale up to me, unfortunately, so by the time I'm at like level 120, 150 and I'm really ready to make a new recording again, in the very high hopes that that new recording would
In the light's name.
manage to, let's see, would be enough.
Fine, I'll one.
I guess I'll go ahead and kill this guy. And then let's go ahead and double his health, I guess. And end the turn. So yeah, I'm just playing it off screen, trying to get the health up, attack up, armor up. The basic stats you would see in any, almost any game of that style. There is a lot of grinding now that I've played it. It's probably about the third time I've played this game too, in 3 years. So there's a problem
In
there.
the light's name.
Do I want to do this and then damage?
Face the light.
Give some health there. End the turn. Hey, I might actually turn this around. So yes, I'm playing Rogue Legacy when I really shouldn't be. I should be playing Dishonored. Dishonored is going to be a lot like Deus Ex. I realized that, but I needed to. I want to start Dishonored kind of after the Game of the Year stuff happens, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get away with that.
I don't have enough mana.
Darn it! Didn't play that quite right. Oh well. I've got this in the bag unless he can pull something crazy off. Have I been doing anything else? No, I did the Pac-Man 2 episodes. That's a new experiment. New experiment with stopping and skipping a lot of runs in the middle of a roguelike game. I think it's fair. I think it's fair in Rogue Legacy to do that. I think in general, you would say that that's a little cheating. But since the game is not really showing me anything new, the only things that I'll have to do when I get back to Rogue Legacy is show off the, like, journal entries that I'm unlocking slowly. Otherwise, there's really not been much of anything different. They will just see me playing better. It almost gets to the level of the thought of maybe I should have played the game once through already. And that would actually be a mistake for Rogue Legacy because everything changes on the second run. And so maybe I will end the series at the first run through, or maybe I will just let it go again to the second run through. Also, the weirdness about the Rogue Legacy is that you just have to beat the bosses once. So you can have like a really good run, take on one boss, and not be able to make it to any of the other bosses. As long as you take out that first one, he's permanently taken out. I believe is how it works. It seems that's how it's going to be. So if I had been a lot better player, I would have probably taken out a lot of the other characters.
Do you need a blessing?
Already. kind of working myself up in the thought that I need to be good enough to beat all 4 of the bosses in one run, when really that's not the case, it seems like. I did do the game of the year. That was 40 minutes of me talking with my Excel sheet and list on there. Game of the year, year in review. Pretty happy with how everything turned out this year, I would say. I don't feel like any huge mistakes were made, unless arguably the mistake was doing the YouTube channel at all, but that's a silly argument to make. That's to say, you could always say there was something better you could have done or something different you could have done that would have been a better choice, but I will put that to the side because honestly I couldn't think of anything. So I think I did a good job this year. Now, as far as the game of the year and year in review thing, I see, particularly in that video, a lot of room for improvement. And I don't know if I'm gonna have the time or the thought. I probably would have had the time. In fact, if I pushed back game of the year and all that backwards so that I got it done on the 31st instead of releasing it like on the Monday before which is the last week of 2015. If I did that instead, I could see myself taking all of the game of the year time to work on my own game of the year and just make it be a little bit late. Yeah, that might work, but I needed to get game footage of every single game up to show that off. Really, probably.
Don't mess with Tusker.
I did my game of the year as a conversation, just people listening to me talk through it. There wasn't super amounts of competition. Even though I covered 30 games, I really only considered maybe 4 or 5 of them as even potential winners. Deal 3 damage to everybody. Let's see.
That minion already attacked.
Darn it. Thought I would be able to win on this turn. Unfortunately, no. Do I need to do a game of the year and a year in review? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe those should be separate videos. Then they would be 20-minute videos. I can definitely feel, though, I'm getting comments, I'm getting people watching my videos more in the middle of Christmas, and maybe that one Christmas season.
In the light's name.
I mean, technically we've been through one Christmas season before, but not really. I wouldn't really consider the end of 2014 for my channel to have been high enough to really do anything. Let's see. This.
Fine, I'll heal.
This. And then
that minion already attacked.
Turn. So I definitely do see some. I don't know what I would do for the year in review though. If it wouldn't just be a cycle, a loop of footage of games going around, I have no idea what it would be.
In In the light's name.
Fine, I'll wand.
Face the light.
Go ahead and play this. Do this. Oops. Oops.
Not quite what was planned.
That was a big old oops right there. I meant to play this character on him. So I have no way of taking out this last 3 right now. I've messed myself up. Yeah, I'm not paying enough attention, obviously. I realized that on my Pac-Man Championship Edition DX, that is yet another game that has more that I can play with it. So games I'm playing in the middle of this, well, and I'm not recording, I'm playing Portal 1, sorta, still. I've already done the first run through. I'll go back and do the second run through after a while. Portal 2, which I've already started but haven't made a ton of progress in. I'm only in the second chapter. Rogue Legacy for the moment, and Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. On top of like 5 clicker games, which I never stop playing those, because I just want to see how high the numbers get. I think that's silly. I'm about done with time clickers though. I've almost got all the weapon cubes improvements ready to go at 100%, and there's certainly seems like there's more that you can be done as far as upgrades, and so I probably will hold off recording a second video of it until I have every single thing upgraded to the max, but that's gonna happen quicker than I think. So I need to get 7 victories, but that's really all I need to do. Everything else is just gonna come on its own. Kill 20 creatures, do 40 more damage to the face. It's just gonna happen on its own. I don't think it'll be lucky if we even go 3 episodes, 3 recordings. You know, just as soon as I started to somewhat train myself to say recordings, I really haven't played any episodic games lately. I need to go back and cover Sam & Max Season 2. I'd also want to sort of work my way towards doing all of the Telltale games and being done with them, and so I think that it's on the list. It's on the list. I'd like to really make some progress and get ahead to Halloween. I don't think I'm gonna get it done though. I scheduled Lego Marvel Avengers, and that's gonna be 2 episodes a day too, because it's just too long. Those games are just too long. I needed it to end somewhere close to the Batman vs Superman movie when that comes out, so I could potentially have the Lego Batman game recorded and coming out. So my 2 o'clock time slot continues to exist despite me not really wanting it to. Hit this guy? Darn it.
Job done.
I played wrong. I should have attacked this guy and then healed, and then that would have worked better.
One shot, one kill.
So yeah, that was a mistake. Problem with Shadow Form on the third turn particularly is pretty bad. Here.
In the light's name.
Yeah, but that's still not gonna save me. He'll just kill both of his characters to kill mine.
We must
I
cleanse
kind
the
of think
Sunwell.
I need the 2 o'clock slot to exist. I need to potentially move some games into the 2 o'clock slot. Maybe move the Telltale games into the from the 3 o'clock to the 2 o'clock, and then fill up that one. But that will be a while away before I do something like that.
Fine, I'll heal.
Particularly if I'm filling up one time slot with You Don't Know Jack, which I haven't gone back and played. Ideally, if I wasn't in the middle of the game of the week, game of the year, yeah, if it was game of the week, I'd never have any free time. If I wasn't in the middle of listening to Game of the Years, I would spend the rest of the day after playing Hearthstone playing You Don't Know Jack. And I think that's where it's gonna eventually end up, is that I will be getting hopefully more value out of that. That's ideally what I'm hoping for. But I don't know. I just don't know if that's gonna work. I think it should. There's really no reason why it shouldn't. But play that. The main issue there is just hard drive space. I will probably have to once a week spend time uploading You Don't Know Jacks and Hearthstones and all of that.
So many possibilities.
Which means there would be less order going on my video manager, but at this level I've given up trying to maintain any order as far as my video manager on YouTube. It's just, normally I just put the whole game, just focus on recording one game from beginning to end, upload it piece by piece, one day's work then the next day's work. But
How many fingers do you see?
that's the only thing I do. And then for Hearthstone, which is the never-ending game, I will wait till I have 14, 15 to 30 episodes. Somewhere between 15 and 30 episodes of Hearthstone, then I'll upload that. Each page on the video manager holds 30 videos, so if you had the hard drive space, 30 would kind of make sense, because then your whole page number 1, since it's the most recent always, or by default at least, you could just spend that whole page number 1 adjusting and scheduling that. Then of course you'll just mess that up again as you start playing a different game. I really need to get into Dishonored though. This is the weirdness. Definitely, it's
In the light's name.
in a lot of ways I could certainly see myself arguing that I'm not super interested in. Let's see. Double the health? No, I want to double the health.
Does this hurt?
I could have healed that one, but I didn't want to. And that was a good move to not heal it because apparently he had cursed it or something. What was on that?
The frost wolves stand ready.
Yeah, I don't know why that one died. Wonder if Hearthstone is creating bugs again, or if I'm just not paying attention. Probably just not paying attention. Did I say I watched the
Afraid of the dark?
what was it? The Christmas special of Doctor Who. Surprisingly good. We'll just leave it at that. I'm not. There's nothing particularly in the episode to discuss or talk about, but the story was good. I liked it. I think I already said that. Unfortunately, that's the only thing on right now. I did order the Roku 3 that I was thinking about getting, so I mean I already had Netflix, so if anybody either on Netflix or Amazon Prime wants to suggest something to watch that they think I'd be interested in, you're free to do that, and I will appreciate it to at least some extent. Well, I'm gonna lose, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. I could kill this guy, but there's really nothing that's gonna stop him from doing 3 damage to my face. So, any suggestions are fine. I almost am tempted to make the offer that I would watch any movie somebody suggested, or at least start watching something. That's where this idea would fall apart, is I wouldn't actually watch any movie anybody suggested. I will play any video game anybody gives me through Steam. I can tell you that, because I may only play it for like a 5-minute spotlight and then say this is garbage and turn it off, but usually I'll still play the game for several hours before I say it's garbage and turn it off. That's kind of where I ended up, although it's unfair to say I don't even remember what the name of the game was Galactic Soup Trading Company or something. Yeah, that was a pretty repetitive game and I stopped playing that, but like Child of Light is the probably second worst game I've covered for my channel so far, and I played that all the way through, excluding that stupid demo on Steam with the logo playing with the naked dolls, whatever that was called. How do they do it? I think. Yeah, I'll exclude that from being even considered a game. So I typically don't play garbage video games. Not right now. Not when I have probably 250 good games to play, or at least have some value to them. And generally speaking, I don't feel like there is a ton of like bad video games that have some kind of commentary on it that is worthwhile. Usually if somebody spends some effort on a video game, it has something I can talk about.
Ready to ride.
And if it has nothing that anybody can talk about or criticize, then usually they don't spend any money on it. Or I don't hear about it. It might just be more that I don't hear about it. Which that's fine too. So Yeah, I'm almost tempted to say if somebody suggests a movie that I would watch it and come back here and talk about it, but not really. I wouldn't. I'd fast forward through so many movies. I start movies and just go, I am bored. I have so much on my Netflix queue that is just there, and I'll probably never get around to watching it. I'm a pretty fickle person. So, I had an interesting realization today. I got some like frozen Chinese dinners, and I've been buying them forever, but I got a new flavor, I guess, or I haven't eaten this flavor in a while. I'll realize this, and it's bourbon chicken flavor. And so I start eating this, and I go, "Oh, this tastes really good." And I'm thinking to myself, "Man, I guess if I drink alcohol, I would really like the taste of bourbon." And then I go look at the sauce ingredients, and it's, oh, there is bourbon in this. So, well, it's been probably all the alcohol's been cooked off, sure. But I've come to realize that if I was gonna become a wino or a drunk, I would be a Class E drunk who drank bourbon. But honestly, that would be a nightmare for me. It would be, the last thing I need is more time in which I'm fuzzy-headed and can't pay attention and can't focus. I don't think for a second I'd become a better video game player or a better video game critic if I was starting off with a bit of bourbon. So many YouTubers are like that. If I just go into a little bit of a rant, so many of YouTubers are in the camp that they start off their recording for the night by drinking a light beer, and then a couple hours into it, I've seen it on Twitch a lot, but a couple hours into the streaming they drink their second, and somewhere around the end they're on their third or fourth light beer over several hours, and I'm like, I don't think that helps you. And then Twitch people smoke like crazy too, and they're always coughing, and yeah, that's not helping your commentary. I mean, I'm not a great commentator. I won't probably ever be a great commentator, but I can tell you, drinking alcohol, smoking, or doing illegal drugs on your Twitch stream in particular, is none of that's gonna lead to improving your streams.
Job's done.
There we go. I'm gonna win this unless he can kill this guy. I've got this in the bag. Yeah, for me, it has always been in my life. I don't know where I got this mentality, but I have never been able to imagine myself as a small-time alcohol purveyor. That's the wrong phrase completely. I've never been able to imagine myself being able to enjoy like a glass of wine once every 4 months, and that's it. It, in my mind, immediately goes straight to, if you drink one glass, by the time I would be done, I would be a full-blown alcoholic and homeless and begging for money, drinking diesel gasoline just to get the alcohol out of that, which is something I've seen on the internet somebody actually do. And I tend to logically actually agree with that thought, too. Because I am a pretty obsessive person. The number of comic books on my shelf, the number of movies, Blu-rays, the amount of anime I had, how big I was into anime when I was big in anime. All of those were super obsessive things. I collected anything and everything Nintendo for like 15 years. And I still have this massive collection of Nintendo toys and video games, and now I don't even really care about it, but it's far too much and far too expensive to just throw away. So when I get obsessive with things, I get super obsessive with them, and I think if I had a chemical influence thing, yeah, be obsessive about drink, about alcohol, I think I would just dive headfirst into it. Also, not really any self-control. Really, I can fully admit it to myself, I do not have very much self-control at all. Now, I should be proud of myself, I have yet to buy anything for the Steam Winter Sale, but I really think it's hard for me to even be super proud of myself for that, because it's not like anything was really on sale that I hadn't already purchased already. I could have gotten a couple more games, and maybe in 4 or 5 months when I'm still waiting for the summer sale to come around, there's some game I'd like to have already had and played, but I think mostly I'm just gonna be right where I am. Let's see. What do I want to do? I'm just gonna heal this guy and
My fate is
attack and return. So, yeah, I'm proud of that self-restraint, somewhat. Of course, I'm not doing a great job of maintaining focus and/or here we go.
In the light's name.
That's what I was hoping to do.
my fate is sealed.
I'm not doing a great job about putting my head down and getting more recordings done. If I could just freeze time. Not to share a song if you could turn back time, but if I could just freeze time. This was a old Twilight Zone episode where somebody could stop time, and I was like, man, if I could do that and then turn it back on consistently whenever I felt like it, that would be so good. Just gonna play this, and this, heal that, get this one up,
Face the light.
attack the face.
Job done.
Yeah, I would freeze time and then play all the video games if I could. You would have to assume that with time frozen, a lot of things still worked. Because if you really just froze time, nothing would work. You would not probably be able to push air molecules around. You might not be able to breathe.
How many fingers do you see?
The electronics and clocks that are required to run electronics would have to magically work. So in all effective ways, you can't just freeze time. The real thing you want to do is somehow convince all humans that no time has passed, and yet still allow the universe to spin on its axis and not destroy our seasons or crops or anything like that.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Does this hurt?
There we go. Yeah, I would play all the games. I'd be so far ahead if I could do that. If I could just put life on pause. But you can never do that, and that's kind of the problem. And even if I did do that, then I would probably be burned out on playing video games, or I would be really excited on playing video games and then have nothing that I could actually play.
Fine.
Because I'd played it all already. Guess we'll go ahead and end the turn there. Trying to take me out.
We hunger for vengeance.
He is gonna take me out, darn it. Well, that's 41 minutes, so I guess that's as good of a place as any to end this recording. Didn't really talk about much or too much, but we need to get several more victories, and we need to do destroy 7 more minions. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to talk about to go to a 3rd recording here. You know what we can do though? We could do an arena run. Next time we do an arena run, yeah. We are over that amount, so it would be ideal if we got up to like 300 so that we'd always have an extra in case we screwed up, but mostly I think I just want to make progress here. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.